So for SNN, you will have something like this instructions, and here we go, the form. So the top part of annexure 1 is for use by ministry, and make sure when you write the application here, insert your ECFMG number. There is no place in the whole SON to write your ECFMG number, but that is very important to get the final statement of need. I cannot emphasize this enough. Many people's like SON got delayed because they didn't write their ECFMG number. So write it here and then go down. You can write your name, date of birth, place, nationality, fathers, mothers, passport number, date of issue, place of issue, valid up to. And then the 11th one is confusing for many people. So you can just leave it blank. Or if you have like US visa, you can type B1, B2 till this date, but the course will be on H1 or J1 or H1B visa from this to this. Or for 3 years, you can just write for 3 years. And then we go down. So the details, academic details from MBBS onwards. So you will just write about your MBBS course, year of passing, and which institute or university, and whether you obtained SON for that or no. Then MCI registration number, date of registration. Then as we go forward, in this page, it says enclose copy of the offer letter, and then you will write which specialty training, internal medicine residency, starting date, duration, and name and complete address of the university or program you are going to. Then the bond. So write your own name, son or daughter, wife, whichever you want to choose, of I chose daughter of Dr. Ramesh Patra, my daddy, and then permanent address of India residing at, which should be the same as your passport. Okay, the address should be the same as your passport, and then your signature, your name, email, telephone, date, place. Enclose the following document as we talked: the copy of the offer letter, then the copy of the Indian passport. Don't include the blank pages. I also signed all the pages of my passport, self-attested them. Just something that my mom asked me to do because she works in a government sector. Then the surety bond. And the surety bond is something that takes the maximum time because you have to find two people, one related by blood and one who works in a government sector and is a gazetted officer. So here we go. So you will just for stamping, I would say there are multiple shops that do stamping. You can just go and pay them and get the stamp done. Yeah, it's a non-judicial stamp paper of rupees 100. So bond to be executed. That I, Akshi Batra, resident of dash dash dash, having MCI number dash dash dash, having graduated from dash dash dash, and I am the obliger. Here you will fill your own name, and then here is the name of the sureties. So P1 of dash and P2 of dash. Person 1, person 2. So then name and duration of the program, and also name and address of the medical institution. Obliger, your name. Obliger, your name again. Obliger again. Then person 1, person 2. Then again person 1, person 2. Date and words, month and words, year and words, place, country, and then here is the obliger, that is your signature in the presence of witness 1, witness 2. Their name and complete postal address is important, and signature. Uh, then your name, first surety's name here, and then witnesses, close relative as we discussed, and then second surety's name, who will be a gazetted officer with a minimum of 7 years left. This is by ministry. And then the biodata that will be filled by your relative, the first one, and the second one by the gazetted officer. For gazetted officer, you just make sure because the gazetted officer needs to get it signed from the head of the office right here. So make sure you give that person some time to get things processed and signed further. Okay, and I have this video, complete J1 guide. So in this, I also talked that ECFMG number is needed right here. But before that, uh, 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 here we go. I have a list of things that you need to have. So I wrote a cover letter for the ministry, and in the cover letter, I wrote my ECFMG number. I highlighted it, then copy of offer letter, then copy of your valid Indian passport, and then copy of valid visa. If you have any, if you don't, it's okay. You can skip this part, and then surety bond with the two sureties as an annexure. And when I submitted my application to the ministry, I made sure that I got like a, here we go, let's skip forward. So I got a receiving date by the ministry. Like I made a photocopy of all the documents I submitted in the ministry, and I got a receiving date stamped to the photocopy so that they can be held accountable for that. This is how many days you spent. So it takes 10 to 25 days depending on when you submit. If you submit early and no one else has submitted, it will take 10 days. Otherwise, it can take up to 25 or even more. I submitted on 30th March and ministry sent an email to me on 9th April that my SON was accepted and they mailed it back to me